All right, today we're going to go over very quickly what we did in class today on Wednesday, September 16th. We opened it up to see if there were any questions. We wanted to make sure that all students had watched both lectures. This is a short week this week because of parent-teacher conferences on the 16th and the 17th. We do not have class on the 18th, so the quiz is moved up to tomorrow, Thursday. So you want to make sure you've watched conversions notes and done the lecture questions, measurement notes and done the lecture questions, and then we're going to do the precision and measurement activity today. The second thing that we talked about were the participation points and how you can get those in. You missed class, so you need to make some time with me that you can meet up and get your participation points, as we don't have office hours, but you want to make sure that you get those in before you take the quiz. Then we did, like I said, the worksheets are here, unit conversion bell work, measurement comparison of 3 rulers. We're going to talk about that. They are the rulers if you didn't print them out. And then here is always the key. You want to make sure that you have the key if you would like to check, because there are going to be conversions on the quiz. So the quiz will be Thursday. It'll be open from 7:30 to 1:30 like usual. It is 8 questions and 26 points. It will go over unit conversions, measurement, and then the activity that we did today. So the first thing we did was we did a few questions off of the measurement bell work. So if you have the measurement bell work, you might want to have that out, or if you just have a piece of paper and a writing utensil and a calculator, let's do a few of these together to make sure that you know what you're doing for the quiz tomorrow. The first thing you do is you take a look at your conversion and you say, all right, 6 feet to meters. I know that feet is an English unit and meters is a metric unit of distance. So we're going to need to go through what is called the distance gateway. So I know I need to keep my eyes on the inch to 2.54 centimeters conversion. So that's where I'm trying to go. Whenever you start, you always take your given, which is what you've given, and you put it over 1. And then as soon as I see that I have my feet at the top, I'm going to draw another line, and I have feet at the top. I want to immediately put feet at the bottom. Now I'm going to take a look and see what I can change feet into that might get me closer to this. So if you're looking, I don't see feet, and I don't see feet, and I don't see, oh, I see feet here, but that's going to take me to yards, so I don't want that one. But I have feet that's going to get me to inches so that I can use this one next. So I want feet on the bottom, so 1 foot is 12 inches. And then I have inches at the top, so I know I want to put inches at the bottom of the next one already. And I would like to go through the distance gateway, and it looks like I can do so now. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Wonderful. Hopefully you're keeping up. And if I'm going too fast, go ahead and pause the program. And then I need centimeters on the bottom because I would like to end up in meters. And so I'm taking a look. I see that 100 centimeters is 1 meter. Wonderful. And then I make sure that I've crossed out, so feet are gone, inches are gone, centimeters are gone, you zigzag, however you want to remember, until we're ending up with what we want on the top. Then we multiply going across. 6 times 12 times 2.54 times 1 is 100, and 82. 1 times 1 times 1 times 100 is 100. When you divide that, you get an answer of 183 meters. Just to practice another one very quickly. 5 gallons to milliliters. What is the first step you're going to do? Wonderful. You're going to take 5 gallons. You're going to put it over 1. Then that means I want gallons on the bottom. So take a look and see what you might have at the top that can convert gallons. And remember, G is grams. So we want gallons. 1 gallon is 3.78 liters. And I want to be in milliliters, so I'm going to put liters at the bottom, and then I'm going to look up at the top, and I'm going to see how I can take liters into milliliters. And you see this first one at the top here. Wonderful. Very good. Now, a moment here. I did explain to everybody that you will always get this set of givens in any quiz or test or assessment. So you want to make sure that you know you have that. You don't need to memorize it. So we're going to go through and we're going to get rid of everything. We're stuck with milliliters at the top that we want. We multiply across. 5 times 3.78 times 1,000 is 18,900. 1 times 1 times 1. So that is your answer. Now, we had some questions on how we are going to do this in a quiz. And the thing is that I put a practice quiz in Wednesday's folder. So right under this video that you're watching is a practice quiz. So if you go in it, for instance, if the question, let's make it look like a student would, and this is not graded, and you can do this as many times as you would like, what you would do is I have my smartboard here, and let's make this small, pull this off to the side. All right. So as you can see, this is the exact same question. It says, and it will say this on your quiz, on a separate sheet of paper, use the table below to convert the following measurement. Then enter the correct steps for the conversion below. So if you see, we have 6 feet to meters, just like on our practice problem, we just did 6 feet to meters. What I'm looking for down here is the steps that we took. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 steps that we took. So what you would do is you would say, all right, the first thing is I put 6 feet over 1. So 6 feet over 1. Then the next thing is I did 12 inches over 1 foot. So we're going to find 12 inches over 12 inches over 1 foot. Then we did 2.54 centimeters over 1 inch. 2.54 centimeters over 1 inch. And then we ended up with 1 meter is 100 centimeters. Now, it is imperative that you read this last portion and you listen to me right now. If we made more boxes than you will actually need to not give it away, and you'll be like, oh, well, I only need 4 steps. So you'll always have more boxes than you need. So in order to get your answer graded correctly, you need to put not needed in any of the subsequent boxes that you do not need before you enter and go to the next question. Okay? So if you do not fill every single box, you will not, your answer will not be graded appropriately. Okay? Awesome. So this question asks or assesses if you know the process to get the right answer. And then because you can't like group questions and you can't do multiple parts of questions, it would be nice to be like, and then enter the answer. But there's no way to do that in Schoology. So I put a few of these in here. Again, you can do this practice quiz as many times as you would like. It does not count for anything, but you'll see eventually now this is going to assess whether or not you can get the right answer. So on a separate sheet of paper, use the table below and convert the following measurement. And then you just have to pick the right answer. Okay, so that is the way that the test is going to go. The last thing that's going to be on the test is going to be a measurement. And before we got into that, we did the next activity. We did what's called the precision and measurement activity. I'm not going to go through this whole thing with you because it was fairly interactive. But what we did was we took the area of 2 shapes, but we used 3 different rulers in order to do that. The first ruler that we used was the ruler that we wrote in red, and this ruler only measures to the tens of centimeters. So if you were to take a look at this up here, let me remove some of the data, you would see that the width of this box, if we're going to get the area of it, we only can agree that it's more than 10 and less than 20. So the only sure place that we know was the tens place, and we had to estimate the ones. So this is my red writing. I measured the width to be 12 because I called that 12. Some people called it 13, things like that, because again, we're only sure of the tens place. And then when I turned the ruler up and down, I said it was a 12 by 8. So I got the area was 96 centimeters. And then over here, we took the height and width and multiplied it by a half to get the area of the triangle. And I collected students' data. One student got 24 centimeters, one student got 21 centimeters, one student got 28 centimeters. So it was kind of all over the place as far as getting a good number with this ruler. So we said, okay, maybe we can get better data if we use a more precise ruler. So we grabbed another ruler, and this ruler, if you have the packet, is the other one we cut out. And you're more than welcome to do this if you would like. now on this ruler, remember how I said it was 12 with the first ruler, we can see that it's not exactly 12. It's more like 11 point something. And I measured it. It was 11.8, and then up and down 7.9 centimeters. And then I had students do the triangle, and we collected data from the students. And the students this time got the area of the triangle to be 22.7, 22.4, and 23.0. You can notice that that is so much closer together than it was with the first ruler, because this ruler is more precise and therefore you can be more accurate. Okay, wonderful. And then we did it one more time, but we did it with a real ruler. Oh, here, let me hit this. I'm sorry. The limitation of the ruler tells you how you can read. So we agreed that it was 11. And this is the number that we had to estimate. You always estimate one place past your last known. So we knew it was more than 11 and less than 12. So 11 point, now this was your estimation, but you have to have that. Okay, very important. And that's, you might see that on your quiz tomorrow. Okay, then the last ruler was, we used an actual ruler, and this was not the ruler that I used because this ruler doesn't fit. Anyways, if we were using this ruler, now you can see that we're going to get even more specific calculations. We are getting more precise. This ruler, if you were measuring, would give me 11 point, and I think we ended up, and I didn't say the second half of this for some reason, 11.5, and then we had our estimated place. So the biggest thing, and it was last week on the graduated cylinders, and it is this week on the measurement, you always read one place past the last known digit. So a ruler goes to the 10th place. So that means that you can read to the hundredths. You have to have that for a good measurement. And then we talked about which ruler was more precise and which ruler you would want to have if you, oh heavens, if you were having somebody build you a house, which ruler was easier to use. And that was kind of a general discussion there. So some people said this ruler was easiest to use because you could get a little more precise, because this was hard almost to use because you had such a big area for guessing. But then sometimes this gets hard to use because you have to be so accurate. So most people we voted chose the middle ruler. And then, but we all said that this is the most accurate ruler, an actual ruler, and this is the ruler that you would want if somebody was building you a house. Okay, perfect. Then the last thing we did was we just went over precision and measurement. Oh, I'm sorry, we just did precision measurement. We went over the practice quiz like I was showing you. So on the practice quiz, you will have a measurement, and you will need to take the ruler, boop, and you will need to make a measurement. Two things about the quiz, though. You need to do it on a computer, not on a tablet or on your phone, and you do not magnify the screen, because what can happen if you magnify the screen here, well, that was aggressive magnification, but it can change and skew the ruler. So if you think about it, though, what is this question trying to assess? If with making it multiple choice, it's really not assessing your measuring, it's kind of really assessing how far you read. And so remember, a ruler goes to the tenths, so we always need to add on an estimation for the hundredths on the ruler. Okay, so play around with this, and there's lots of practice questions here on the quiz, and this quiz is located in the Wednesday folder right underneath where you're watching this video. So please go ahead and do that. And then I think that was pretty much it. I said put your participation points in, which means you need to kind of make sure that you get with me before those participation points. I will send out a welcome video by the end of the week to try to tell you, what you're going to expect for next week, because it will be big. And then remember, you take your quiz which will start tomorrow. It'll be 8 questions, 26 points. It's over unit conversions, measurement, and then the precision in measurement activity. So you got to know the difference between these 3 rulers. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions, and good luck on your quiz on Thursday.